Hey guys, ArchieLuxury here on the Paul Pluta channel, and I've got some secret information to share with you. I'm not going to name or shame the situation, but there's a certain watch website where you can put together a portfolio of your watches. I've had somebody leak me some statistics. So I'd like to share this with the audience. There we go, guys. So number one, all the figures we're going to mention are in US dollars. American US macaroonies. Okay, the average collection. The value of the average collection in US dollars, 60,000 US smackers. 60,000 US smackers. Yeah, that's the average collection, the value of the average collection. And yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. So that's the average. And you think about it. A Submariner, a GMT, a Speedy, a Reverso. We're starting to get up there. A couple of shitters. We're there. A couple other interesting statistics is with collectors in the 28 to 35 year age group, their collection, the average value of their collection was 45,000 US smackers. 45,000. Very, very interesting. So we're seeing a lot of people putting serious coin, a lot of guys putting serious coin into watches. Then the next statistic is 35 to 45, $50,000. 45 to 55, we're starting to get up there, 65,000 smackaroonies. And you think about it, wristwatches has become the latest type of speculative investment. And I've got to be totally honest with you. Where do you put your money? See, the problem is if you put it in a savings account, you're going to earn less than 1% interest. 1%, less than 1%, 0.5%. If you put it into, say, shares, a Vanguard, something like that, well, highly speculative. Many of the shares at the moment are at highs, so you're buying in at a high time. Then if we're looking at the housing or property sector, the problem is you need to put it in big chunks. You can't just put 10,000 or 20,000 in. You've got to put significantly more, hundreds of thousands of dollars in most cases. Wristwatches is a very, very easy thing to put money into and cash out if necessary. So this is becoming the newest kind of temporary currency. Especially if it's Rolex watches themselves there. It's a big, big, big situation that's evolving. See, people now, they want something that's going to pay more than 0.5% a year. They want something that the wife doesn't necessarily know about. It's off ledger. These are off ledger assets. The IRS, the tax man, Her indoors, who must be obeyed, that's the wife, they don't have access to this information. And it's a very tricky thing. It's tricky. And you have to be very, very careful. I would say you've got to be really careful. You don't want to be in a situation where you are playing with your future without an exit strategy. Wristwatches is this latest currency. You can put money in here, you buy the right stuff, you can get out, get your money back. If not, make something. So this is kind of the latest crypto crap, which actually has a tangible wristwatches. And I've got to be totally honest with you, wristwatches themselves there, how many off-ledger assets can you leave with? See, if you've got a property, there's title and mortgages, it's messy. You've got a car, it's got a note. You have got a bank account, well, it's traceable, it's accessible. So in many cases, wristwatches is a perfect asset class. So guys, my advice is just stick to the main stuff. Stick to the main contenders. Rolex. Rolex should be where you put the money. Rolex Steel Sports. That's where I'd be going. I would be putting the money into Rolex Steel Sports because, and which sports indeed? Well, I wouldn't go, the super speculative like the Panda, Platona, the Pepsi, the Cermet. They're a little bit fragile. I would go for the standard Note 8 sub, the standard black bezel Submariner steel date. GMTs, I'd go black. I'd go Milgauss. I would go into these type of sectors. That's where I would be going. I would be going into the safety. These may not be the sexiest investments, but they are going to be the safest. And that's what you want. If you're going to put your money in, you need to be able to get out with relative ease. So guys, my advice to you is to be very careful. Don't rush in where fools fear to go. But you want to make a few good investments, Steel Sports. Get the iconic models. Rolex Steel Sports. Some Rolex two-tone sports. Omega, you go for the classics. Speedmasters. The classics. Don't go for the not so popular models. Go for the classics. Dress watches, if you want to go for dress watches, you've got to be a bit careful. Dress watches are soft, but you go for the leader, Patek Philippe, or the Day. Rolex, Day. That's what you do. That's the advice, guys. You want to be careful. You've got to play this carefully. Don't jump into things you have no expertise in. I wouldn't buy Ming. No, that's stupidity. I wouldn't buy softer brands. Zenith, Gerard Perregay. Stay away from that. Stay away. You want to go with a safe brands. Rolex, Omega, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron. Breguet, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Not an easy sell. Guys, that's what I'd be doing. I'm ArchieLuxury. Put some comments below, and I will see you in the next one.